Oh no, my
Do you
normal
not have a
thing.
dinger?
My normal thing isn't here. I took it upstairs to wash it. It's my metal tumbler.
Oh, I thought it was your metal dinger. Ding, 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 ding,
Ugh,
ding, ding.
ding
Guys,
ding.
welcome to Anchor Watch, our weekly below deck late night chat where Josh and I take over Adam's channel to talk about pretty much the #1 rated franchise on Bravo. Sorry, housewives, but it's the truth. So we had to talk about it. We have to talk about it. I mean, we
Yeah,
just
you know
have.
what's funny is I think just so the housewife fans don't get too mad, I think while you know um Below Deck brings the most eyeballs, the most fervent fans though are, Real Housewives.
Oh
They're the
yeah.
ones like there's definitely their love runs deep. Although
Ours runs deeper here. I mean, our tips are bigger over here. All the naughty yachties will tell you in the chat. Our tips a little bigger on this side, and that proves its point in the ratings as well. I just want to say hi to everyone in the chat. I want to give a couple of shout outs, especially to our mods, subscribers, everyone. Adam and I did our members only live last night. Let's whine about it. And this community is just so fucking amazing and so fun to be around. So we appreciate all of you. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Worth Avenue Yachts. I wear their hat every week. I'm not being paid to say anything about them, but you should check them out in the description below. They are such a unique yacht brokerage that is all over the world. Who Captain Sean, our really good friend of the channel. Hold on, let me bring up his photo that he loves so much. Also works with, and they provided Adam and I such an amazing experience at the Palm Beach Boat Show, and we will be doing some collaborations with them soon, and I can't wait for you all to see all of that. And then also, if you haven't checked out Adrian Gang's Gangplank Report podcast
say it 10 times
on
fast.
Gangplank Report podcast with Jen. You have to check that out right now. It is so fun because she spills a lot on what happens on Bravo, what happens in the yachting industry, because she is yeah.
Plugged in. She's plugged in.
She's plugged in. She knows how this works.
Yeah, and she was on the show. She was on the original cast. So her perspective is a lot different than Jason's and I. Two guys who watch the show.
Two guys who watch the show.
watch
We've never been on it. We haven't. Well, I mean, I've been on a yacht, but I haven't been on a yacht charter or anything.
Although I will say
Team Sean in the house.
Jason and I did tour together with Cirque du Soleil, so we do have that, like, where we have lived and worked with a crew before, so we do have that kind of that in common with the crew, and a lot of
it also, like, the people we work with, it can become very incestuous, as we are watching on Below Deck now, right? Same thing happens in the circus, I guess. Yes. I don't, yes, Aaron, thank you so much. We love you, Aaron, by the way. Remember to smash that like button and subscribe. The easiest way to support us is just to push that like button. That's it. We love it. It's so fun. There is 70 in the room. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already and help us out. Wait, wasn't this the best episode?
No, it wasn't the best.
It wasn't the best episode. Where's Greg? I know. Listen, we promised to have Greg on when there was shitty episodes like this one, but he's busy.
Well, and it kind of caught us off guard because I went into last night, and let's just start by saying this. I kind of expected, because it seems like a lot of times the show is kind of an up and down roller coaster. They give us a break, and then the next episode's exciting. And coming into this one, I thought we had some excitement coming in. And it wasn't a bad show, but it definitely wasn't exciting. I'll just say this. We should have had Greg tonight.
We should have had Greg tonight. It was that good, guys.
Yeah. It was so good.
It was so good. We should have had Greg here. He should be here right now. No, I asked, I did a poll in the live chat, and I asked what last night's episode was. Was it fire? Was it mediocre? Or was it, just... And people said, a lot of 43% of you, everyone enjoyed it. And then everyone else, 54%, said it was just, eh. And then we also had 4% that thought it was just shitty. So that's the end of that poll.
Yeah, I didn't think it was horrible. Um, so I think 3% of you are nuts. But yeah, I'll admit I was in the 53%. I was in the so-so category, but that's okay. It's still a great season. We do want to say that it's still a great season. We're having fun, and like I'm still excited for the rest of the season.
Oh,
It's just
100%.
this was if this was a movie, this would have been where we would have taken a bathroom break and bought some more popcorn or something. That's
Yeah.
that's where we're at.
This is kind
episode.
of how I'm feeling about Jason on the show, the deckhand, but we'll get into that when we start recapping the episode. But let me ask everyone, or let me tell everyone something. Okay. So I'm sunburned. I spent all day on a boat with a housewife friend of ours.
Oh, wait. But Jason, you guys need to clarify. Not just a housewife that you know, an actual from the show housewife.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I just want to clarify. I wasn't just someone you know in Florida who happens.
Oh yeah, no, not just a housewife we know in Florida. We don't know too many of those, but we know the ones on Bravo, and we had a really great day on the boat. I can't really go into any further of what that is or what happened or what transpired, but we had a really fun day. But I got some really great news. You know, we have talked about Below Deck. Sorry, I know there's an echo, guys.
I'm not hearing it. I think it's
Are you not hearing it?
I think you just hear it sometimes, Jason, with your setup.
It happens. It just happens.
It's something with the AirPods and stuff.
Probably.
Well, anyways, what Jason was going
anyway,
to say is
so what I was going to say is we know a lot of Below Deck is happening. We talked to you guys about Down Under before it came out. We know Below Deck Adventure is just on its way. It's premiering this fall, which I can't wait for. And you will see hold on. You will see one of your favorite housewives from a franchise that is very similar to where Below Deck Adventure will be filming, and a friend of a potential new housewife of the same franchise will be chartering on Below Deck Adventure with our new captain, our new yacht, and our new show.
Wait, Jason, this is that will be the first official crossover, right? Like people have talked about this.
There's been crossovers before with housewives chartering yachts and on Below Deck, on Below Deck Med.
Okay.
Not on sailing yet, but you know,
if they were chartering, I think they'd
it's Daisy and Gary. Like, I'd rather go motor yacht. You know what I mean? So that will be fun. I'll reveal that when we get closer, but I feel like I need to leave that kind of hush for this moment. But again, if you go listen to Gangplank Report with Adrian and Jen, they always have a lot of early tea. But this one came from a different source, so I'm very, very excited.
Although if she hears about it, I think she will tell you guys right away on her podcast.
yeah, I know, we can't wait. That's why we love Adrian.
Yes.
She just knows. So let's just jump into this episode. This intermission episode, I guess we can call it. Guys, 70 in the room, hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Let me just check the comments before we get into this.
Hey, we're seeing some people that are here that they say they normally aren't with us, but they're able to join us this time. This is awesome. Also,
welcome.
Replay crew. You guys are killing it in the comments. I love it.
Dude,
if you guys see, I've been going in.
Can I say?
It's good conversation, thought out opinions. And I have to say, if there was a team, Natalya or Natasha, team Dave, I was kind of team Natasha, but from what I'm reading, you guys are kind of winning me over in the comments of like, and now what we're seeing, I'm like, ugh. Anyways, we'll talk more about that in a little bit because that's definitely one of the few things we do have to talk about this episode.
I mean, it's one of the biggest things we have to talk about this episode. So we definitely have to get into that. I saw a comment in here really quick. Oh, Lulu, thank you. Can't sleep. Finally here for a live. Loves from Norway. Josh and I have been to Oslo together, by the way. We've been to Norway. We've been to the park together.
With the big babies. I got to see if I can find that picture.
Oh, yeah.
Remember what was that called? Oh, Lulu, what is that park called with the famous statues?
I don't know. It was amazing. Oslo was amazing. Norway's amazing. And this is going to be our new, basically, landscape for Below Deck Adventure, which will happen off the coast of Norway. So I'm really excited to to see what that's all going to be about. Okay, so Below Deck Med. So our intermission episode, we'll call it an intermission episode because it wasn't like the most fascinating, amazing episode, right? But we started off where we left off. We began at the beginning.
Let's dock again.
Let's dock in. Let's hit something again because it's always hitting something. But we are leaving dock. These charter guests who have been on their charter now for a day, and been on golf cart tours around Malta and seeing the capital Valletta. Going around, they finally get to leave the dock, and again, we are stuck with a Reagan problem, I should say, which is hitting the dolphins or the buoys on the way out. This is Storm's first time kind of getting the boat out, and you would expect him, from how the hype has been about Storm, to kind of do it the right way. But I have to ask everyone in the chat, and Josh, do you think this was a Storm problem or this was a radio problem?
Well, okay, so what was happening, for those who didn't get to see this, what was happening was he was hitting, actually, you're going to love this because I'm Mr. Props on this show. I've got a walkie-talkie right here. I have radios right here.
Perfect.
So what he was doing is hitting the button, and immediately as he hit it, he was talking. Hey, you're 5 yards away or whatever, 5 meters, 4 meters. But what was happening is he didn't realize you need to click it, give it a second to open up the line, and then start talking. So he was clipping off the first couple things he said, which was the distances she needed to hear. She was missing it. So instead of hearing, 14 meters, she would hear 10 meters. And so she was like, hey, Storm, I'm not hearing you. And so she hit. And at first you're like, oh, Storm's in trouble. But to her credit, and also because I think she doesn't have really anyone to turn to now.
I just want to interject here because I was rewatching the episode before we came on tonight, and I did not watch next week's episode because a lot of people have asked us like, oh, I've already seen it. Like, I'm watching it. I've already seen next week's episode, but we're following Bravo's pattern because not everyone has Peacock. So we're recapping. So we're
on Bravo's release date, not on Peacock's
Bravo's timeline. Yeah. But here's the thing. When the deck crew needs to communicate with each other, they use the same walkies.
Yeah.
Storm has been on yachts before. So is this an excuse, or did he really not know how to use something? I'm just...
Captain Sandy's saying she took that one. So many murdered dolphins. Captain Sandy was like, I didn't show you. I didn't tell you. It's my fault. But next time, it'll be your fault kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, you're right. That's the thing, is he's been using these same walkie-talkies, these same radios the whole time.
But yeah, I was just confused. I did like, though, because, Captain Sandy could take different approaches, but at the same time, she doesn't really have anyone to back him up. There's no other person who could be a bosun. Maybe besides, Jason and Z, but at the same time, I don't think they're on par for that. Z was so green last season. Jason has worked on smaller boats. Courtney is fresh. She just got there. She's a great addition to the exterior team, by the way. Totally. We'll get into that as well. But I just think, she accepted responsibility. She's like, you know what? I didn't tell you about that. It's fine. Let's just not let it happen again.
And, they had the chance for redemption by the end of the episode. They did come into dock, and it was actually at night, so it was even harder to see, and the crew did a great job. No dolphins murdered. they got in okay, and so he had a chance to redeem himself, and he made sure he didn't make the same mistake again. And really, I think they're kind of done with that, unless of course the water, like some kind of crazy swell or something, pushes them into it. But I think they're fine. Like, I think he's going to be around the rest of the season.
I mean, I have heard we are going to hit a dolphin again.
They even showed us a preview of damage, right? Didn't they show us a preview of actual?
They showed us damage, so I know it's going to happen again. However, I think Captain Sandy has a lot working against her when you're coming into this marina, because the dolphins are so close, the tides are so strange, the wind is so different there. She has posted on her social media. Here, let me see if I can bring it up. pictures of the marina that she, went into. I mean, look, this is a very tight parking spot. I think I said it last week, and it's like going to Target when everything's on sale. Like, this is what the parking lot looks like. It's very difficult to get in there. It is very tight. So I can understand that. And we have watched swells, winds, tides, everything change so drastically within this season. And it's not just Malta, it's not just the Med, it's not the Caribbean, it's everywhere. Even today, when we were out on the boat, it was a crystal clear day. It was very easy. The water was great. Tomorrow, it's expected to be choppy, windy. Swells are going to be huge. Rip currents are going to be different. So I understand. It's very hard to kind of not only maneuver getting in and out of the marina, but maneuver, okay, these guests have been on land for a day doing a golf cart tour. We're going to finally get them out. And then now all of a sudden, we might have to bring them back in due to weather.
Well, and speaking of choppy weather and hard to drive boats, just today, and many of you might have seen it, I sent to Jason on Instagram, ABC News account and CNN account, both have footage of a super yacht going under off the coast. I think it was of Italy.
Of Italy, yeah. And this is from the Coast Guard of Italy. This is a super yacht that sunk recently, yesterday, I think, off the coast of Italy. And it's funny because when Captain Sean took us to the boat show, which was amazing, he did talk about the Italian engineering versus like German engineering or other, kind of yacht builds, right? Because like the yacht we're watching right now, Motor Yacht Home, which is parked outside my backyard, literally down here in Palm Beach. We pass it almost every day. It is a Heisen yacht. So it's, I don't know if it's Dutch or German. I forgot what Captain Sean told me, but he pointed out at the boat show when we went onto Italian yachts how disorganized everything was. And this was actually an Italian yacht that sank. So that's so funny.
Yeah, I reached out to Sean today just to ask, like I said, hey, do you know anything about this? And it was kind of new, so I didn't know if he had a chance to like connect with his, get on the captain's.
Now they do sometimes
Captain's
they purposely sink ships to create reefs, and for
this was not that. This was not that.
This won't be just what it is.
Yeah, and I asked Sean, I said, hey, do you know anything about this or why or whatever? And all he wrote back was, he wrote 3 words, made in Italy. And I was like, oh. So there you go. For all of our fans right now that are looking to buy a yacht in the next 6 months.
Don't get Italian made. They look pretty. They look amazing. But Captain Sean is not the first person who has told me about some of the Italian made, boats and yachts. Even at the shows and stuff, people are like, it looks pretty, but it's really hard to take care of. But then let's point out really quick. I know we're going to jump ahead a little bit, but let's point out the stabilizers went again on this hybrid yacht, this Heisen yacht. That's supposed to be so amazing and so brand new. And we're dealing with a problem again.
Well, it never happens.
Is Dutch, by the way.
It never happens on a day when the water's like glass. It always happens when they need those stabilizers desperately. It was like as soon as it went out, like Captain Sandy on the episode was like, I've lost control of stabilizers. They're not working. She's like calling down engineering. And like 2 seconds later, the whole boat just starts rocking and stuff starts breaking and guests are
It's so
down.
damaging. I mean, Chef Dave is trying to cook some fucking dinner. And then
he lost some of it.
He lost some of it. And you have like guests falling over. I mean, it's just it's so crazy to me because this is the first time, and we were bragging about this when we started talking about this season, Josh, is we have a new modern yacht. Like they literally put below deck med and they're like, we're bringing in a nice yacht and we're going to put Captain Sandy on this new hybrid yacht made by the Dutch, like the Heisen Yachts, that is a Dutch shipyard. And we're going to show you how amazing it is. Now we're like, what is this the third time the stabilizers have gone off, if I'm not mistaken?
Kind of reminds me of washing machines. Stay with me here. Everyone got those.
Where are we going with this?
Everyone got those fancy front-loading washing machines, and yet everyone I know who has one has had nothing but trouble. They smell like mildew. They can never dry
Jeez.
out. They're always breaking. The new technology doesn't work. Whereas the old school, lift the top and drop your clothes in. No one ever complained about clothes were stinky before. They got cleaned. So I'll tell you guys, when I got a new washer, I got a new top loading, old school, and the thing is awesome. So there you go.
There
I
we go.
did not buy the Italian Yacht of washing
So
machine.
you're telling us we need to get My Sienna, which is now called Starship, the old yacht from Below
Get it
Deck
back.
season 9. I'm going to
I've never
mention it
seen a
here.
stabilizer go out on that. I've never heard of stabilizers going out until we got the fancy new front loading yacht. That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
there we go. You know what's really cool? Those 2 seats on the front of the yacht. Did you see that? Where Natalya and Storm were sitting at one point during the episode? They were like 2 seats. They look like roller coaster seats that you just strap yourself in. Like, is that a gimmick kind of thing? Is that something you actually sit on? And
they you know what they look like to me? Just because I'm like getting into it slowly. For fishing, deep sea fishing, you could sit in it, and then it gives you leverage on, like, if you're pulling in like a marlin or something. And usually they have like a mount for the pole to go slide into too, so it doesn't. You're not getting the weight all on your arms. It's possibly.
I mean, I'm looking at like
now,
a
Sean will
ride.
tell us something different. He'll be like, "You guys are idiots." No, it's for.
Yeah, you guys are so dumb. Like, it's just to sit there and we'll go really fast, and you like strap yourself in and enjoy the wind. Okay, let's jump in, because I do have to say, did you see that quick clip of Natasha going into the master cabin asking the ladies, "How was your birthday? Like, how is everything?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm so tired." But then you see the ocean just like go past really fast, and it was beautiful. And this is what yachting is all about. And I was like, wow, we're not on a cruise ship. What?
Norma's not always here, but of course, as soon as she arrives, we're getting crazy messages. I don't know what the hell I said, but she said, "Josh, getting into it slowly is always good." Winky face. Folks, if anybody's gonna get this show banned and taken off of YouTube or lose,
we're gonna get canceled from Adam's channel. That's what we're gonna, because it's so funny. I said, like, if we bring Anchor Watch here, we have a lot of naughty yachties, big tipped buoys. I mean, whatever the hell you want to call yourselves in the chat, and it's just so funny to watch the chat go and what they say. I got some.
Yeah, actually, this is probably a good time. This is a good time for everyone to subscribe to Jason's channel and to SeeJoshGo on YouTube, just in case you don't see us here one day. We'll be back in the slums. So,
Renee, I don't have the video of it syncing, but I mean, I do have the video, but I didn't download it to play tonight. Okay, so I don't know where to start here. I want to start with the interior. The crew is starting to fall apart just a little bit. And they came in strong. We've seen for the first, 2.5 charters, the first 2 charters, the first, 5-6 episodes, the interior team was killing it. And there was no question that they were never going to kill it. Then last episode, we saw Natasha texting her ex. She has problems with, with Chef Dave. Now Natalya is in a new relationship with Storm. Now Kyle has his tooth hurting, which is the worst pain you can ever feel. Like, I know. I felt his pain. I felt his pain many times. I've had 2 root canals. They're awful. Whatever was happening.
Yeah, and if you want to know a solution to your tooth pains, just go to last week's episode. I gave a really good demonstration on what you could do with just a simple towel. But
I don't know how that's the pain. How does that help the pain?
It does, Jason. Old cartoons are never wrong. So no, I think this is definitely not I'm not concerned like, oh no, interior's falling apart. They may not make it through the season. It's just like a bunch of bad things. Not to use this again because we're talking about yachts, but it was a perfect storm of like bad stuff going on, because it's on a foundation of Kyle is miserable and in pain, and he's got to get that. Like, there really is nothing worse than when, like, your teeth are nerve endings. So it's, as soon as one of those starts going crazy, it just takes over everything, and you can't think. And then
there's no way. I mean, You know, the tooth, it goes so far up in your head. Like when I had
Oh,
a really bad tooth problem, like you cannot function. So I understand where Kyle was coming from, but they, Kyle and Natalia are starting to
I think
go
I
at it
think
a
I
little
think
bit.
they were just nipping at each other because they were both kind of irritated. Mostly he was irritated, and then it wasn't helping. And then I think they were just nipping at each other like brother and sister. I think they're gonna be fine later.
We have seen in previews there is a big blow up between the two of them. So I'm wondering if is
Oh
this the
yeah.
first, is this the first kind of, hint at things to
Yeah,
come?
good point. Yeah, there's so many things that were alluded to that, like, yeah, this season there's gonna be some twists and turns.
Hey, listen, it's way better than Below
Good.
Deck season 9. I can
Oh,
tell
he
you
said
that.
it, folks. He said it.
I've
He
said it
said
twice now. So if you're drinking tonight, or if you're even playing the game, I am. So I said it. So I'll have a sip. No, but I do love Natalia and Kyle, and I like them together because I feel like they are. She is Kyle as a female. Do you know what I mean? Like
totally.
her quickly biting back, like he said something about like shit in her mouth or whatever, and she said, "Did you read that in your comeback book last night?" And I was like, "Oh my god, this is so funny because you guys are so witty, both of them."
Yeah.
So I
They're
wonder
like,
if the friendship is going to take a turn at some point, especially, we've previewed next week's episode where Kyle kind of maybe possibly gets intimate with a guest or has, anything with a guest. How will that affect how Natalia sees Kyle? And how will that affect the interior crew again
yeah,
and
how will
Natasha?
Natasha see Kyle? Like,
Because now that we have, honestly, now that we have Courtney here, I feel like we're in a good space in the exterior crew. I could be wrong.
yeah, I think I mean now the exterior crew I think is much better. They got rid of the undecisive leader at the top. They have someone who's calling the shots. And even though he may not be the most experienced, at least he's calling shots. And sometimes that's all you need is just a leader who's willing to drive the team forward. Mistakes can be made up for, things can be fixed. But if people are just sitting around like a rudderless boat going nowhere, then you're making no progress of any kind. And so getting rid of Reagan, unfortunate for her, but it was a good move. But yeah, I think going forward, I don't know. I still think the interior is going to be okay, but you're right. Now you got me thinking hard because we did see those, and maybe it is just one half episode they fight, Jason. You know how Bravo
I
is.
mean,
Like
listen,
they
Bravo
tease
loves
us
to
with
trick us with
something.
this shit. They
Yeah,
love to like put us in through these obstacles of like this is what's coming, and then it's not a big deal when it actually happens.
yeah. It's
Bravo
30
loves to do
seconds and
that.
then they move on.
I mean, I
So
do. What do you think Natalia was upset about? Did she just need like a thank you or a pat on the back? Do you think she was trying to, you know, fill
I
fill?
don't. I wonder if she didn't quite fully understand the pain and stuff Kyle was in. That's the only thing I could think of because I was like, I was so confused on the episode. I was like, wait, why is she so put out or whatever? Like, if it were something like, I, I just didn't understand. Like, I felt like she was like acting inappropriately, and I was like, maybe she just didn't fully get it. I don't know. Everyone in the chat, was there something that set it off, or are you guys like me? Like, I really think she overdid it or something.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
Norma said Natalia seemed overworked, and I thought so too. But I don't know if that was because, you know, Kyle had to go down a few times because of his pain, and I don't know if Natalia was, given the communication, like kind of like what you were saying is like, understanding what was happening. I'm not sure.
Norma also added because Kyle was supposed to take over the laundry and he was idling. So yeah, maybe she just didn't really fully understand the what was going on, and she thought he should be okay. Fine, if you switch with me to interior and laundry, then it should be getting done. And it's like he's kind of going as fast as he can, and maybe she didn't realize that. Yeah, Thomas, I was confused too. Yeah, I think we were all
Yeah,
kind
I
of
was
there.
confused. We were all kind of like, where did this come from? But again, here's Bravo editing, right? They
Well,
are,
and I
listen,
think
they are nominated for 2 Emmys, Below Deck Med, so they're doing something
ooh,
right.
um,
I do want to talk about though. Let's get into this because we need to talk about this because we have a lot to talk about. I want to get to Storm, Courtney. Gosh, what else do I have in here? Jason. We need to talk about Jason because there's something we're missing here. But let's go ahead and bring up Natasha and Chef Dave. This is just going nowhere. It is a repeat performance. And here's the thing. When there was a preview for next week's episode, Captain Sandy said, okay, here we are, charter 4. 4. These charters are 3 days. We are basically like 2.5 weeks in, at this third charter. And in these 2.5 weeks, we've had moments like, let me see if I can bring up the photo. We've had moments of, this 28 minutes in the shower. We've had moments of Natasha and Chef Dave really just getting it on, right? They just loved each other.
That's Captain
But
Sam.
now, well, I mean, no. No.
Okay. I was like, wait, I missed an episode. I definitely need to find
you a picture of Natasha so we can get,
okay.
Some substance here. But, Natasha is now within this very short period. And that's what I want to remind people of. This was a very short period of time that this went.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, what the hell is going on? But now Natasha has kind of made up, we all remember the texts that were sent from Chef Dave. There is no, debating that was wrong. That was completely disgusting and rude and awful. I totally understand that. But we were all on Natasha's side before, but now I feel like a lot of people are starting to switch, and it's okay. She's confused in life. Like, listen, we can all be confused with something and it leads us to something better or different, but she is spending, and I'm wondering if this is also kind of a situation that's kind of toppling the interior team, is Natasha is now distracted dealing with this situation. And if you watch
edited, she's always on her phone texting her ex, sending little,
which is now not her ex anymore, because if you watch closely on the episode, it's now Natasha's boyfriend. So now they're back together. And it's like she's just leading him on, or led him on, or he was kind of a rebound.
I have two sets of mind about this. One, I do think she's just a hot mess now. She likes the attention, and quite frankly, this running into bad situation from one bad situation to another. I mean, it sounds like her ex was a horrible person. Dave said she confided in him that he cheated multiple times and was not good to her. Now she's running back. You're right, Norma. She told Dave that she went back to her boyfriend. What was the purpose? There was no reason in a million years that he needed to know, because they would have never met. She would never.
Why are you on your phone texting your boyfriend if that's what, because that's what the cameras and editing and everything else was alluding to, is that she was in the kitchen at one point by Chef Dave saying, I love you or something to her boyfriend now, not ex anymore, because they've changed that. Now it's the boyfriend. It's like, okay, fine. But why did she feel so compelled to tell Chef Dave? She has to say like, okay, now I have to tell you, I'm back with my boyfriend, and we have just so much in common. We have a lot of friends. We have a place together, and it's just like, oh, crazy. Now you need to understand that, because it's only been 2 weeks and 3 charters that we've been on this yacht, and I've been playing you for a minute. That's how I felt.
So yes. So now I'm like, I'm over her. I think she's immature. She's a hot mess, and quite frankly, everyone should avoid her like the plague. But yeah, she's cute, she's pretty, but you know what? There's a lot of pretty girls. Just go to the mall and walk around. Like, if you want to find another pretty girl, there's a lot of pretty girls in the world. But
I don't think they're at the mall.
Well, there used to be. That used to be the thing. I'm old. Okay, that used to be the thing.
Yeah, this is like in
now
high
it's
school.
Go to the.
I always found like cute girls at the high school, but I was gay, so it's like, why didn't it matter?
Anyways, enough about your best friends. So. No, now I want to just take a moment to say, Chef Dave, move on. I get it. You're hurt. And like, I've been there. I've been the guy who it's been hard to let go. That was also when I was a lot younger than you are now. Like, dude, move on. You had a hot fling. It was fun for a month with a girl, that you were working on a yacht with, 99% of it was based off the emotion of we shouldn't be doing this. Ooh, it's done.
It's danger.
Take a look at her. She's you don't want to be tied to this. Even if tomorrow she goes, you know what? You're right. I'm done with my ex. You were the guy I was supposed to be with the whole time. Red flag, run. She's already shown you what her true colors are. Move on. Yes, Marianne, Dave should count his blessings. Move on. And you know what? You're an amazing chef on a yacht on a television show. Something tells me you're not going to have trouble meeting girls in about a month's time.
Not at all. I mean, this guy. I mean, listen. Let me tell and kind of promote here. If you want to see Chef Dave's interview with Up and Adam, it's in the description below.
Yes.
And he interviewed from the Ukraine, where he was working for World Central Kitchen to help people get meals that needed it. He's fantastic. He does a lot of work like that.
And this was in preparation for him going and climbing Mount Everest. And he's going to cook a meal for a bunch of people and set the world record for the highest prepared meal or whatever in the world. Dude, you're good. You don't need this girl. Move on.
No, 100%. Chef Dave, you're doing amazing. In fact, currently, Chef Dave is with Chef Marcos in LA, and they are doing some really cool, and Chef Marcos from, Below Deck Sailing, doing some really cool culinary events and stuff at his restaurant, Marlowe in LA, in downtown LA, which is really awesome.
Wait,
from what I've heard.
Did you see what Norma just wrote? Is that what you're talking about? Chef Dave will be at Marcos's restaurant
this weekend. Yeah,
and
that's what I was talking about. Yep.
Oh my gosh, who's going? That would be an amazing meal.
I can't imagine. See, here's the thing, and this is where Chef Marcos won, because he has had everyone from Below Deck come to his restaurant. Our friend Zach Peter went to his restaurant and did an interview with Chef Marcos, which I don't know if has aired yet or has aired yet. Aired yet or not. But he's doing amazing things. Norma has been to the restaurant, I believe. And I think we are in California in 2 weeks, and we're going to try to also go just to see him.
Yeah, Jason. I mean, if you guys are able to get to dinner in LA, the only problem is
it's LA. I'd rather stay where we're going.
But if you
we live there for so long, it's like,
if you can make it into the city and go, that's where I would go to dinner.
Do you really think though that she had to bring that up? And why did she have to explain? Do you think that she felt she had to explain to Dave like she explained to her ex-boyfriend, who is now her boyfriend, like, you don't deserve me, I made mistakes? Now she has to explain to Dave the same way. Does she need that validation? Does she just need to let it off her chest, get it off her shoulders? I mean, what is the point of that?
So here's the deal, Jason. I'm talking about this because you and I do a show where we talk about this show. But you know me, in normal life, and actually you would be the same. We would cut her out of our life so quickly, and we wouldn't even be discussing her. Well, take it back. In a year or so, you and I would be cracking jokes, and she would be the punchline. But I don't have time for these kind of people. And the older you get, if you've lost loved ones, you realize how short life truly is. You stop wasting time more and more on these people who are emotional vampires, draining on you, the kind of people who the way they get attention is by using drama, sickness, or some kind of complaint and negative energy. She is somebody who is unfortunately doing that, which is sad because my first thoughts of her, I thought she was awesome. I thought she was fun.
I was just going to bring this up. I mean, we haven't had Below Deck Med. We've had, since Hannah left, we really haven't had a strong chief stew. And I feel like she was a strong chief stew. She is a strong chief stew, but with all of these distractions, it's I'm looking for, and I think we're all looking for on all Below Decks, that one chief stew who's going to be around, like Kate Chastain. She was there forever. We loved her. We couldn't wait for her to come back. Well, some people. Hannah, loved her, couldn't wait to see her again, couldn't wait for her to come back. We know the captain is always going to be there. We know someone else will always be there, but we're really always counting on that chief stew. And I was like, maybe Natasha is that for Below Deck Men right now. Because chief stews on Below Deck Season 9 haven't worked out.
I like what Marianne just wrote in the chat. Also, some of you guys are making me laugh with what you're. But Marianne wrote, "Me too, Josh. I feel duped." That's exactly
Yeah.
it, man. I feel duped. I feel kind of like a fool. Oh no, I am Chef Dave now. I fell for her and she broke my heart. But that's kind of how I feel. It's
And
like
you know,
I feel cool.
I feel bad saying that because Kyle had a lot of great things to say about her. Um, they're really good friends, but at the same time, like listening to Chef Dave and his story, if you listen to Adam's interview with him, it's very interesting. And I kind of feel like, what the hell is going on? Like, I feel like almost she drug him on. She used him in a sense,
Yeah, and now she's using us because she is eating up a lot of our time focused on her stupidity.
which could bring her back next season. So,
I know. And we're gonna
maybe.
love every second of it.
I mean, I do listen. Chef Dave is an interesting guy. He's very interesting, and for me, it's like I hate when people who are so talented, interesting. I can't think of any more adjectives. Like amazing people don't have that confidence to be like, you know what, I'm that good. I don't need to be dealing with that right now. You know, and
Yeah.
maybe I don't know.
So, can we just
Tracy
talk about
says she duped Kyle.
hey, so can we talk about one thing I just want to say real quick? Um, and it's funny because it's interesting to watch Bravo. If they have an interesting crew, you don't see much of the guests because there's a lot to work with. If the crew ain't so hot, you see a lot of the guests. This episode, we're not seeing a lot of the guests. And unfortunately, I would have liked to see more of these guests.
What was
Um,
interesting to me about this, though, is we didn't see a lot of them. They spent their first day of charter doing the golf cart tour all around Malta and seeing Valletta and the capital city and all that stuff. Then they came on, they left, they got out, they barely got onto water toys or anything. And then they had to come back in. But then when they left the boat, they said that everything exceeded their expectations and they had an amazing time and everyone got a great tip.
well,
So we must
and
have missed
I thought these guests
something.
were great. I thought these guests were great. They were that type that again, like we're having fun with the crew, or at least we're respectful. I just like when people are nice to the people. Like, don't go to a restaurant and be a jerk to the waiter or waitress. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and if you do, I hope they do spit in your meal, and I hope your meal's a miserable experience. But like, just be pleasant to people. Like happiness is such an easy thing to spread around, and it is contagious, and smiles are contagious. Just go live a happy life, and it starts with you taking ownership of like what you can control, and that's your face. um and and these people, these ladies were all, they were fun, they were nice, they enjoyed themselves, they were respectful,
Yeah,
they were
and it makes
really
me
classy
excited.
and
It
dressed
makes me
really nice.
excited, like, as Sephora Bernard just said, next episode's guests are hot. I cannot wait to see because here we're gonna have interaction with the guests, an interaction that I may will it go too far? Will it not? Is this again Bravo editing? Let us, you know, letting us think that we are expecting this huge thing to happen between Kyle and the guest, or is it going to happen? I don't know.
Yeah, and Kyle, Kyle's an expressive guy. He's funny. So it's very easy that Bravo got 5 really good lines from him. And in the 30-second teaser, they gave us all 5 lines, and it looks like he's about to hook up with a guest when really, Kyle, you know how Bravo is. It looks like he's going to cross the line. Oh, Heather's saying he crossed the line.
Well, I mean, listen,
Stop,
Heather,
people,
I
don't
have
tell
I
us.
have a question for Heather, actually. Does
Heather,
he cross the line? Because I have really forced myself to not watch the episode. Because on Peacock, you can watch the episode, of course,
I
a week
know.
in advance. We are on Bravo's timeline. We're recapping at Bravo's timeline. But I'm really curious to see if something. Okay.
Okay.
He's gonna kill it.
All right, quit showing these messages.
All right. Okay, I want to move to the exterior team really quick. I want to talk about this because
Yes.
Courtney is an amazing addition to the exterior. Coming from the interior before, with Sandy and Z, last season, I'm happy to have her back. I really think she does belong on the exterior, but she keeps getting pulled into the interior. We talked about that last week where she didn't want to do half the things that she was told to do. I love how she's volunteering to bring in the wave runner in rough waters, which today I was on a wave runner and a boat, but I was on the wave runner. I was driving it, the jet ski. And when things get choppy, it is very hard to control. So I can only imagine what that's like, on trying to hook it up to a yacht to pull it up on a crane.
I'm imagining a boat going by you 5 miles per hour in the back bay, causing the slightest of ripple, and you being like, ah. I'm
Okay.
gonna drown. I'm gonna drown. Someone throw me a life preserver. I'm kidding. I'm sure you were in rough, choppy waters, Jason.
Yeah, it was very rough.
Oh god. But no, I think and we did have a night out with the crew too.
Yeah.
And Courtney was fun, and she didn't get as wild as she has gotten in seasons past, although who knows? I mean, there's a lot of time left that we may see that Courtney come out. But yeah, I think she's great. I really like the exterior crew. I like the dynamics. Although now we're finding out Jason is seeming not to fit in. And I don't know, from early things like that we saw, it was like he was cracking jokes and they weren't quite getting him. To me, he kind of came off as like kind of a weenie and a complainer.
We said that last week, right? And guys, I see your thing about the echo. It is a StreamYard problem. So it is not a mic problem or anything else. And I apologize. I do try to turn things on and off as I can, but it is definitely a StreamYard problem. Yeah, no, it's Jason. I wrote a note about Jason because we haven't seen much of him. We didn't see much of him this episode. We saw more of Courtney. We saw more of Storm and Z and everything. And he just feels like he's not in sync with the rest of his team. And he's mad that no one laughs at his jokes and he doesn't fit in. But is that like a big deal? Like, you eventually might fit in. Like, just relax for a minute.
Yeah, or and remember, like a lot of them know, like actually all three of them. Well, Storm may not know Courtney necessarily, although they might have hung out because Z, we saw he brought her to his home in between seasons, and he and Storm are friends. But like Z and Storm are lifelong friends. Courtney and Z have a back history, so it's like so. There's Jason and I on Cirque. But I don't know. That's one of those things where I just feel like, calm down, dude. Like, you may not fit in as tight as them yet. Like, build a history with these people. Build some camaraderie. But yeah, he's.
But again, as we mentioned earlier, we're only on Charter 3.
Yeah.
We just finished Charter 3. The first charter, or the first charter and a half, you had a bosun. In fact, Storm and Z were not even there yet for Charter 1, right? They weren't there. You had Reagan and you doing everything, and you had a really, whatever. And then you had Charter 2 where Reagan was in charge. Now we don't have Reagan anymore. Now we just finished Charter 3. Hold your fucking horses. Like, give it a chance. Yes. We haven't even like kind of gotten into the groove of things yet.
By the way, did you see Adam had to stop in and say hi in the chat? People say hi to Adam.
Please say hi to Adam. We're on his channel. Please say hi and make it nice and fast.
Show some love.
I'm just kidding.
Adam gives a hi. Coffee Buzz answers back with the bye. We love you, Adam.
I don't know where the future is with Jason, because on Watch What Happens Live, he did say, and he was on Watch What Happens Live with Natasha, who did say the texts that Chef Dave sent her were way worse than what were shown on the show. But Jason said that he would never work with Storm again, and he didn't like Chef Dave. So I'm really curious to see how the rest of this season is going. We also, in the previews for next episode, we see Jason telling Storm to fuck off. So I'm wondering what is the build that brings that? You know, what makes him want to say that?
And you know what's funny? You and I, before this episode, thought we would only have a 30-minute episode. We really didn't think we had a lot to talk about.
We had a
And
lot to talk about.
we still have to talk about Storm and Natalya having a
That is my next note. They're
So-
going on a date, which I thought was going to be so cute. But
started
I
off
feel
good.
like
and
I
then-
feel like they both have, you know, preconceived notions on like what is going to happen. Natalya said she's been cheated on by 95% of the people she's been with. Storm says he just got out of a relationship where someone fell out of love with him, and that feels so awful. How is this going to work out? And do we see it working out?
I don't think it's gonna last for. I mean, what is it? Every relationship you're in is destined to fail until you find the right person.
You told me this years ago, Josh.
And I
years ago,
had
when
heard
met
that. I
you,
can't
you
remember
told
where I
me
heard it
this.
from. So I wish I was that smart. But literally every relationship you enter is destined to fail until you find the right
Until
person.
you meet the
And
right
so,
person.
and so, I mean, really, do I think these two are like, you know, going to be marching towards the wedding aisle soon? No, not at all. But I didn't think. I thought they would have some fun. I could see why she got irritated when they were out, because Storm started drinking and then just got kind of mopey and was doing too much work talk. And she was like, I want to be out having fun and dancing. I want fun Storm, and I want Storm letting loose after a hard work day, not sitting around talking
Not
about
that super serious. I'm working on stuff, Storm, and I understand that. But I also understand, because now that I'm looking at the timeline of things, I mean, I cannot believe next episode we're sitting down and like, hey, ready for Charter 4? Charter 4. Storm has been in charge for one charter. So, of course, he has all of these feelings. Is he going to live up to Captain Sandy's expectations? Is he going to make mistakes? Can he get the schedule right for the anchor watch and everything else that has to go on? I mean, I understand. You know, it's also fast. I mean, now I'm watching it from a different perspective, because now I'm going based on charters and timelines. And now I'm like, oh, this is, you know.
I'm so irritated with how dramatic these people act about things, and yet I absolutely would be bored if these idiots weren't doing it. So I need them acting oversensitive, completely dramatic, way overdoing things. But man, is it irritating, because that's my thought every time, is like, you two could still have a great evening. Just go tell him to knock it off.
Just enjoy it. I do have to say, you know, from the beginning of the episode when Natalya and Kyle were kind of going at it, and she used that thing, like, did you read that in your comeback book last night? Kyle was like, I can hear Natalya coming a mile away. And then she called him out and she was like, yeah, I heard you talking about me. I love their banter. I hope this kind of exists the rest of the season, because I do like that kind of cattiness between, you know, the interior crew. That's fun to watch.
You and I love that. Our texts and our phone calls and our voice messages to each other are 90% of the time you and I making fun of each other.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think it's funny, but how cordial is this going to be for the rest of the season? Do you think this is going to last?
I do. The one thing is, like, they're joking, but they also, one of them wants to be second stew, you know, or they both want to be second stew.
They both are second stew.
But they want to be
but one wants to be the real second stew.
Yes,
Yeah, no, I understand. Which we've talked to Adrienne Gang from Gangplank Report. You have to listen to her podcast with Jen. They give a lot of great information, inside information on how these things work. And Adrienne is very in tune and still talks to a lot of people who are currently on the cast, because the yachting industry is not that big. It's big, but it's not that big. It's small. People know each other. So she talks to them a lot. But I'm curious. Now I lost my train of thought.
Idiot. Well, you know what?
I'm just curious to see what what she thinks about what's going to happen, you know?
I think they still have some fun times ahead of them. They'll sober up. That's the other thing too. Is like we're talking about this and we're talking about their judgment and the choices they make, and then we forget we got to lay on a whole thick layer of liquor too. So that's like
Right. I mean, this is below deck,
yeah.
you know, and
So
we've only had, again, 3 charters, but there was that one, you know, I think it was it between charter 2 and 3 where they had like 40 hours until next charter. I'm like, 40 hours? That's a long time. It's not
yeah,
like, you know, 12 hours till next charter, go out, fuck things up, come back, act like Reagan when she said she had food poisoning instead of, you know, a hangover.
hungover. Yeah.
Yeah, we all know. Um, the one thing I want to bring back this whole thing from Natasha just really quick, because Natasha also told Kyle that she wishes he'd back off. But you just told him that anyway. I don't understand Natasha, so we're gonna have to. If you guys are in the replay crew, let us know what you think about this Natasha Chef Dave situation. Do you think it is on Natasha and that she has led Chef Dave on? And I'm not saying that anything Chef Dave texted her was correct or right. I'm just saying, like, do you think that she led him on a little bit? Because it's only been, again, 3 charters, and here we are, and now she's making up with her boyfriend, and she just is acting like a victim now.
Dump that loser and move on.
I don't know.
I know one
No.
thing that you can do. That's hit the like button. It's so simple, but
You
that's
can
how
hit the
you
like
get
button because
us.
we're going to be back next week. And again, like I said, we're only on charter 4. Okay,
Oh my
guys.
gosh. And
Kyle
we want a
has
big tip. We want a big tip. And
we
the
want a
way
big
you give us
tip,
a tip,
and it looks
hit
like
that
Kyle
like
might be
button.
working for that big tip next week. So we're gonna have to see what's gonna happen with that. I mean, he has his new teeth, or not new teeth, or fixed teeth, so he's like ready to go. How I'm just saying, like,
That mouth is raring to go.
he's ready to go, but is this gonna be what we're gonna see, or is it one of those Bravo edits where we're like, And then I want to see, what I'm really curious is to see how Chef Dave and Natasha are going to kind of mend their relationship, if they are at all, next episode. And I wonder why Jason told Storm to fuck off, because if it's about not laughing at his jokes, I'm going to be pissed.
No, it was something about him telling him how to do a proper knot. That
Yeah.
he was like telling him how to do a proper knot. But dude, that's your boss. Like he is put in charge. It doesn't matter. Like you don't tell your boss, fuck you. I mean, who hasn't thought they know more than their boss at times? You know, like
No, 100%. I mean, like, listen, I would assume Jason knows how to tie knots because he has worked on boats before. So, I mean, the knots are the same across the board. You know, I mean, we were on a small boat today. Like, Adam's really good at tying knots, by the way. He's a very good. He knows how to dock a boat. He knows how to tie. He's amazing. But I think he would know how to do this. So I'm curious to see where the discrepancy is here. But
we'll find out. We'll find
we'll
out in the
find
first
out.
2 minutes, and it'll be nothing.
We'll
Although
find out.
I guess yeah, we do know that Jason doesn't want to work with him ever again. Yeah, so maybe it'll be huge.
Yeah,
I don't know.
he doesn't want to work with him ever
I'm
again. He doesn't work with Chef Dave. So I don't know if maybe he wasn't on the right boat. Maybe he wasn't in the right space to be on this boat. I have no idea. But I have to say, Jason is a good-looking guy, and I'm kind of like wondering why the girls aren't going after him. Why are we going after Chef Dave and Storm? Like, this wouldn't be my top choice.
Yeah, but maybe it's his attitude, and doesn't matter how good you look at a certain point. Girls are like, I don't know. I think there's women out there that are like stunningly gorgeous, and yet they're so irritating because of their attitude and like how they treat people and stuff. And then you just they lose all their attraction.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see next week. Guys, thank you for joining us for our Anchor Watch, our weekly late night below deck chat. Be sure you're ready to come back and talk to us next week about Motor Yacht Home and all of the chaos happening on this boat, because it's interesting. I don't think we'll see it like this at the end of the season. But it's very
that is not from below deck.
It's very possible. And if you guys are part of the replay crew, again, let us know what you think about Chef Dave and Natasha. Did Natasha lead him on? I really think at this moment, maybe we're going to find things out, sooner than later, but I don't think so. I kind of felt like this was just a thing that she dragged on. But let us know what you think in the comments below. You guys are amazing. You guys always leave the best comments. We have the best replay crew, and we do answer all the comments on Anchor Watch. So please leave your comments. Josh, are we missing anything before we go?
Nope. Just have a wonderful week. And Tracy Amber mentioned that she's a dental hygienist, so I just want her to know that I floss every single night, and I think all of you should too. It's very easy to do. My dental hygienist, a year and a half ago, got on my case about it, and I've been doing it since. And you know what? She doesn't yell at me.
Flossing is the best. So I do, and no one wants to hear this at all, so I probably won't say it, but I'm going to say it. I brush, I floss, I do the water pick floss, and I do the tongue scraper, because that is the best thing in the world.
Tongue scraper, everyone.
We've talked about that many times.
2 weeks ago. Get yourself a tongue scraper.
Do they have tongue scrapers on yachts?
Why wouldn't they? Whatever you think. I mean, you can really scrape your tongue on anything if you think about it.
All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you next week. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and check out Up and Adam's interview with Chef Dave in the description below. And we will see you guys next week.
And Kyle, his interview with Kyle.
Kyle, it's also in the description below. You need to watch both. Listen to Kyle talk about his experiences. Actually, Kyle's interview was, I don't know which one was.
Okay, I'll say this.
They're both amazing.
Chef Dave, super interesting. He has a lot of life experience where Kyle doesn't have as much. So Chef Dave has some cool stories that he shares with Adam. But Kyle has so much enthusiasm, is so excited to be on Adam's show. And it shows.
But he also shared so many great stories about
he did talk about coming out.
And kind of part of what he's sharing this season on Below Deck. But he went into in depth with Adam, and they had similar stories. So definitely worth checking out. Guys, we will see you next week. Josh, have a great night. And ding, 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 ding.
Bye. Goodbye, everyone.